Hello, welcome to GSTV's Panther Report. I'm Cesar Galvez.
And I'm Mary Elizabeth Scher.
Well, it's almost that time of year again, GSU.
That's right. The time for midterms is almost here, and students are preparing for the first major test of the semester while continuing to balance their regular course load.
This has become pretty apparent. As we can see, there are many places on campus that are continuously filled with students working diligently on their laptops. And with Georgia State housing at its largest population to date this year, the wireless speeds may be largely affected by the increase in activity. GSTV's own Aisha Davis has more on the subject.
Do you feel like the wireless internet connection is slowing you down? Hi, I'm Aisha Davis with GSTV, and I'm here to talk to you about the wireless connection on campus. Time has always been one of the most essential things of human life, especially on a college campus where students are always on the run and urged to get things done fast. Imagine a campus where everything is delayed and slowed down. Homework takes twice as long to do, research becomes a hassle, and many students are left at their laptop screen, waiting and waiting. There have been numerous complaints from the students at Georgia State about the wireless internet connection on campus. Laptops, iPads, and iPhone owners all are in danger of suffering from the very slow wireless. Let's hear from some of the students about how they feel about the wireless connection and what some of them do to prevent the delay. What would you say about the wireless connection on campus?
It's not as good as it could be. It's really not strong enough.
Have you had any problems with the Georgia State wireless connection?
Always.
Always? Does it frustrate you?
It does. Like when you really need to do something in class, if the teacher is like looking for notes and such.
It's pretty sketch at some places. It's pretty good in the library, but in some classrooms I can't even get it at all.
Because in most places you get stuck, you pick it up. Like in the dorms and everything, you can pick up fast pace, but only in like classrooms you can pick up catch up. And then it's pretty inconvenient to have to sign into that every time.
Classroom South, I've had a couple problems getting wireless internet in there, but every other place. And then Outer Hole is kind of iffy.
Outer Hole is it, because it takes about 20 minutes to log on in Outer Hole.
What are some things you do in order to get the fast connection that you need?
I sit and wait.
From experience, one way I found out how to get faster connection is by going to Cat Chat 2x instead of just the regular Cat Chat. That speeds up the internet connection just a little bit. Another good resource is the GSU Wireless Help website, where you can find tons of frequently asked questions about the wireless internet connection. Now that you know more about the internet wireless connection, I hope we can get things moving.
With the semester being halfway done, now is when students should be getting most serious about their grades.
Oh, you are absolutely correct, Caesar. And for those who have not decided to withdraw from any classes that are giving them the slightest trouble, reaching out for extra help may be the way to go in order to ensure an A for the semester.
Acquiring a tutor for help is always the way to go when it comes to enlisting help. But how would that work?
Well, I'm sure that the process of obtaining and working with a tutor actually depends on that tutor or the tutoring program to which the student goes to for help. For anyone who may be in need of further insight into the subject, Jimmy Lou has the answers for you.
Hey Georgia State, Jimmy Lou here, and I've got the juicy inside scoop on tutoring. It's really easy to get behind in your schoolwork or to let your grades drop while here at college. But don't worry, I know just the places for you to go and just the right people for you to talk to get those grades up and keep that 4.0. What do you know about the tutoring program here at Georgia State?
Nothing.
Do you know where to go to get tutored here at Georgia State?
No.
Can you tell us anything about the tutoring program here at Georgia State?
No.
Okay, thank you. We're here with Donald Harden, who is the coordinator of the Math Assistance Program here at Georgia State. Mr. Harden, do you think that your program is beneficial to students? Do you think that it's a really good resource that students can use here at Georgia State?
Yes, I do. It gives students a chance. It gives them a place to come study. It gives them, when they have questions, they can ask somebody, who's good in math to help them along. We also have some solution manuals. We have computers they can use.
Okay. And do you have any advice for students who maybe feel like they're doing well in math, but, you know, a little bit shaky about it? Would you recommend study groups or anything of that nature?
Yes, I would recommend that they do study groups. They're also welcome to use the Math Assistance Complex to come. Even if they're good math students, I think it's always good to come and study around other students, help other students, ask questions when they have questions.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. We're down here today at the MAC, the Math Assistance Complex, right here at 122 Cal Hall, and we're speaking with one of Georgia State's very own tutors, Mr. Larry Fitzgerald. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm fine. Okay. What do you think the benefits of having a tutor are for students in college?
Well, we offer one-on-one free tutoring to out of 1,000 level as well as 2,000 level math students. And so the benefits of that is not only can you meet with your professor, but you can also come down here and spend your day with us learning all your calculus classes, your differential equations, your basic math, all the way from math 1111 to pre-calculus, everything. So this way we hit that high rate of failure, the high failure rate we have in calculus is 60-something%. We try to eliminate that, bring it down.
Okay. We're here today with the Associate Director of the Writing Studio, Jennifer Forstapel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what do you think the benefits of having the Writing Studio are for students here on campus?
Well, we are a space that students can come and talk about their writing at all stages of the writing process. And this is in any class that you are working on a writing piece. So from an English class, history class, a science class, you can come in and talk to us about your work. It can be brainstorming or revising. Any stage you can come and work with us, work with a tutor. We also work on things like personal statements, CVs, so if you're resumes, if you're applying for something, we can help you with those materials as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Panthers, there you have it. Now you know where to go to get your tutoring on. Get those grades up, keep hope alive. This is Jimmy Lou, and I'm out.
Well, it looks as if Facebook isn't the only one going through changes. Georgia State University has changes that it must make to its current standing code of conduct. The student code of conduct is to be updated so that it reflects changes in the federal sexual misconduct policy. Here we have Jessica Morgan with more on the topic.
The University Code of Conduct is set for changes. These changes involve the sexual misconduct policy. I was able to talk to Dean of Students Rebecca Stout in more detail about the nature of these changes, but first I wanted to know how relevant they actually were to students, meaning how many students have actually read the Code of Conduct. So have you read the University Student Code of Conduct?
Not extensively, no.
No, I haven't.
Yes. No. Are we supposed to?
Why do you think it's important that students should read it?
To know what we're supposed to do and what we can be penalized for.
Be aware of everything that, they're supposed to know in reference to that.
I was an RA previously, and it's important for you to know your rights as a student, like what they can do, what they can search, what they can't, and then what's expected of you.
Well, it's definitely good to know the rules and regulations of, how students should act on campus and whatnot.
The university said to change the student code of conduct regarding the sexual misconduct policy, and why do you think they would need to change something like that on a federal level?
To make sure that all the students are aware of what could possibly happen to you if you were to violate one of those rules. I don't think students are very aware of the penalties that come with certain misconducts.
I guess if they felt something was outdated, or if they felt that something wasn't acceptable anymore, possibly.
We're a state-run school, and so it's important to keep that in mind. We're not a private institution. We do get public funding from the government, taxes, things of the sort, and frankly, we have to, the money talks. Okay. So.
Well, I think it's important that if you're, if you're a school that's part of the federal system, it's important not to, make Uncle Sam angry, because knowing that he can come after you for pretty much anything he wants. So he writes the rules, and we as people who are following the leaders should abide by those rules.
When I talked to Dean Stout earlier, she told me GSU is in good shape and ahead of the game because many of the policies about to be implemented have already been in Georgia State's rules. It's been 10 years since the federal government has stepped in and made changes to policies, so federally funded schools across the nation must comply if they want to keep their funding. The Administrative Council is set to meet Wednesday, October 12th, and upon their approval of these new policies, the changes will take place immediately. The Student Judicial Board has set up a campaign called Do You Know the Code to raise student awareness about the Code of Conduct. Dean Stout says student media is also a good way to publicize these things. So we're looking forward to following this story more closely. As for now, I'm Jessica Morgan with the Panther Report, GSTV.
Hey Mary Elizabeth, have you noticed a certain theme in today's show?
Nope, I haven't, Caesar. Would you mind sharing your insight?
Change. Most of our news of the week have involved some sort of change.
Wow, Caesar, you're right about that. And you know what? To keep this theme going, it would be only right to mention recent changes made to MARTA.
Changes to MARTA? What's going on?
Well, prices are going up, Caesar, but this change can only be indicative of something bigger going on, such as the transportation bill. And surely this change affects a large portion of the Georgia State population, especially the commuters.
Yeah, but we have to look at the bigger picture here, Mary Elizabeth. Changes to MARTA not only affect GSU, but the greater Metro Atlanta community as well. Reporter Connor Brown has more information on the grand scheme of things.
I'm standing above the MARTA Transit where the increase in prices will affect both Georgia students and residents. The increase in prices effective October 2nd increased from $41.50 to $60 for Georgia State students and $90 for non-student commuters. Recent state tax cuts toward public transportation is the cause of these increase in prices, and we're here to see how it affects Georgia State students who use MARTA. All right, I'm here with a Georgia State student to get her reaction about the MARTA prices. How do you feel about them?
I feel that they're very unnecessary because I had to go gather up some change from my car to get some more money. I have to buy the new card. So I'm all against it.
How do you feel about the increase in prices?
I really don't like it. It's not a good idea to me. I think that they should have at least waited or notified us before even charging $250, I think it is. That's way too much.
Thank you very much. With the Panther Report, I'm Connor Brown.
It's finally October, and that means the weather is changing, which means warmer clothes, shorter days, and of course, more cases of the flu. That's right, flu season has arrived, affecting every classroom and student lounge on campus. And as always, there are many preventative measures students can take to make sure that the flu bug doesn't bite them. The Panther Report has Tia White to bring the information you need to help you escape the flu.
It's almost that time, GSU. Flu season is right around the corner. Look no further, Student Health Center right at your fingertips. Come in and get your flu shots as soon as possible. Flu season is almost on its way. Marcia Hugh, the GSU Health Clinic immunization nurse, encourages all GSU students to get out as quickly as possible to get their 2011 influenza vaccine.
Well, if you don't want to be sick and having the headache and the fever and the sore throat and the body aches, if you ever had the flu, you will know why people get flu shot. Because the flu can lead into even more serious diseases. If you're immune compromised, you can end up with pneumonia. So some people have the flu for 7 to 10 days and it goes away and then everything is okay. But some people, if they're not young and healthy, will get even worse sick. If you don't want to get the flu shot, then okay. But if you're coughing, you need to cover your mouth. If you have to be very good with your hand care. Wash your hands after you eat, before you eat. In fact, before you eat anything, go ahead and wash your hands. Because a lot of people are afraid to get it because, one, they don't know about the side effects of it. And the most that is going to happen is your arm's going to be sore for a day or two.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention encourages people of all ages to get a yearly flu vaccine. After the shot, your body usually develops an immune response in about 2 weeks after. So get vaccinated now before the 2011 flu season begins, which is mid-October.
I get the flu shot once every year, so I don't have to miss out on classes or anything, so I highly recommend getting the flu shot.
Well, you know, there has been something going around campus, like everybody complaining that their throat hurting, they coughing. So I think I'm gonna go get that flu shot because I don't want to get sick.
Right.
I actually never thought about getting the flu shot. Maybe this year I'll go get it.
The GSU Health Clinic offers a variety of immunizations. Schedule your appointment or walk in anytime between 8 and 4:30 to get your immunization shots.
I really, really, really want everybody to come and get their flu shot, because even if you happen to get the flu, you can still get the flu if you get the flu shot, but the flu will be a milder case. It won't be as bad.
So come on, GSU, let's follow Marcia's advice and come out and get your flu vaccination. Better safe than sorry.
Now, to move on to our political news, take it away, Macy.
Hey Panthers, with less than a week left until the next Republican primary debate, I thought I would go ahead and tally up all the things these guys and girl have going for them. It's no mystery now that Mitt Romney and Rick Perry are in the lead, with Romney leading in the polls when compared to Obama, but Perry still ahead with the right wing. Let's break this down. Romney gets 1 point among conservatives for his performance during the last debate. He slaughtered Perry, and another for being the only candidate who could possibly beat Obama. Now, let's go ahead and look at the things going against Romney. First, and most importantly, he's a Mormon. What can I say? Republicans are just not ready to accept a Mormon as a future president. Second, he's kind of liberal. Not in the Obama sense, of course, but he was the governor of Massachusetts, which is a pretty liberal place. That brings me to this third downfall. And okay, I know I said being a Mormon was the most important, but I recant. This one takes the cake. He created a healthcare plan back in Massachusetts that's pretty similar to, yep, you guessed it, Obama's. So that's +2 for Romney and -3 with a total of -1. Womp womp. Now, let's take a look at Perry, who, for a while, was the saving grace for Republicans in our heathen-ridden country. Perry gets 1 point for thinking Social Security is a crime, another for creating lots of jobs in Texas, and another for being an all-around, good-looking, traditional-valued Christian man. We need to subtract a point for Perry because he thinks Social Security is a crime, and another for his performance in the last debate. He looked like he was in pain or something, and he was sweating a lot. And if you're wondering why sweat production is significant, take a look back at the Nixon versus JFK debates. Ew. Let's subtract 1 more for the latest controversy surrounding the name of one of his secluded properties. The name is way too vulgar for me to say on air or at any time, so if you're curious, Google it. That's +3 for Perry and -3 with a total of 0. Herman Cain will be sitting out for the portion of the game to promote his book, but he's not doing so bad on the scoreboard. Cain gets 1 point for his experience in corporate America. He's done a lot for helping his businesses grow and prosper. He gets another point for his debates on healthcare against Clinton way back in '94. Apparently, his conservatism goes way back. Cain gets -1 huge point for having 0 experience. In fact, maybe we should multiply his score by 0 to get a more accurate picture. The man has never held any government office. He's ran for office once, but he didn't win. Geez Louise, if Cain is an actual contender, I think that shows the kind of desperation the Republicans are feeling. Well, let's see. That's either a score of 1 or none for Cain. You decide. Speaking of desperation and pitifulness, let's tally the score for our favorite, Michelle Bachmann. She gets 1 point for being pretty and popular, and another for being ultra-conservative and sticking to her guns. Now, let's subtract a point since she believes the HPV vaccine can cause mental retardation, despite all the science that says it can't. And we get a grand total of 1 point. John Huntsman and Newt Gingrich are both middle-of-the-road guys who lean slightly more to the right than Obama. But since neither of them are getting much action in the press lately, which is essential to winning an election, let's go ahead and leave their scores at 0. Well, there you have it. I'm Macy Lister, and you're watching Panther Report. Here's Amanda with your entertainment news.
One great way to get into the Halloween spirit is to check out one of the many haunted houses around Atlanta. Both Netherworld and Frightmore top the list with a ticket price at maximum $25. These locations are open every night in October, and during your journey in the house, you can expect to be immersed in complete darkness and fear. One thing we love about Frightmore is proceeds benefit Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. For more information on Netherworld, visit fearworld.com. And for more information on Frightmore, you can check out frightmore.com. This upcoming weekend in Atlanta, you can expect to see a city of even more cultural appreciation than normal. The Atlanta Pride Festival will take over Atlanta on the 8th and 9th with concerts, parties, and parades. The purpose of this event is to promote unity, visibility, and self-esteem among the gay, lesbian, and transgender community. With minimal cost and the opportunity to celebrate diversity, the Atlanta Pride Festival is sure to leave an impact on all of its members.
I like watching scary movies a lot, so I'm definitely thinking about checking out the Cinefest horror thing that's going on. You know, I heard it was going to be pretty good, so.
I'm definitely looking forward to the horror movies at Cinefest.
One of the main events happening is the Quest Horror Film Festival. We have employee Sean Jones telling us a little bit more about that.
The Horror Quest Film Festival is just basically this, it's basically like an independent horror film festival that's kind of a local thing that started here in Atlanta. And it's the first year that it's ever happened before. And it's basically a festival in order to get local like directors and artists and stuff to be able to like have their work and their movies shown. So it's all like local films and stuff like that. And it's just like a way to basically start up this sort of festival in the Southeast. And they're trying to become like the biggest free film festival in the Southeast for horror films, and I guess maybe any other sort of genre. They're trying to just beat out everybody. But it just started last year as just kind of like a movie night kind of thing for local people, and like it was at like free comic book shop events and stuff. And now they're trying to get it to where it's like in theaters, so they're going to kind of bring their own stuff and bring their own films and you know, just show it here at Cinefest so that students and other people can see all the work that's coming out.
To help celebrate Halloween, Cinefest is using the month of October to show horror films all throughout. After 5, it's just $5 for people who are not GSU students, and it's free for GSU students at all times. Let's hear more about the movies.
The movies that we're showing during October are a lot of horror movies, a lot of different, I mean, some of them are horror, but a lot of them are like thriller and stuff, just basically kind of a scare thing because of Halloween and everything. But we're having like old movies like Army of Darkness and Carrie, just some classics. And then we're having a new movie that's coming here. It's called Silent House. And it's a really innovative, scary movie. It's a Spanish film, it's foreign, but the whole movie is shot like in one continuous scene. So the whole movie, they never cut away from the actors or the action. So it's like an hour-and-a-half long movie of actual time in a horror film. So it's really, really cool. It's kind of a ghost, really scary, psychological film. And then we have another movie, and it's a scary movie at points. It's like a British film. It's called Attack the Block, and it was done by the people who did like Shaun of the Dead, the guy who helped produce those movies. Yeah, that's coming here, and that one's really cool. It got a lot of hype for the last year. Everyone just really loved it because it's kind of funny, but it also has scary moments. So it's pretty cool, and that's the other one that's coming here that's pretty big that a lot of people are really excited about because not many people got to see it in the U.S.
That's all for your entertainment news. Let's check in with Carl on the sports scene.
Hey Panthers, this is Carl Eckwitzel with your Sports Report. First, we have a special report on our volleyball team. Here's Chris Halbert with details.
This is Chris Halbert from the Panther Report. Today I had the chance to interview volleyball coach Tammy Audia and also the sophomore setter of the team, Kayla McGrew. Let's see what they had to say about the season.
Well, you know, we're doing pretty well. We've been plagued by injuries a little bit this season. We've had some really great young players stepping up and doing a good job, and our seniors and upperclassmen have done a really good job of taking care of the young players that have to be out on the court with us. We started off conference in the last 2 weeks, and we're 2-1, sitting pretty good in conference. Everybody's kind of beating each other up right now, and you know, pretty pleased with how the season's going.
Now the next 5 games are away, right?
Yes, sir.
So what teams are you going to be playing in those 5 games?
This weekend we head up to Hofstra in Northeastern, and then we have a weekend at UNC Wilmington, and then the last of that away stretch is at Towson in Delaware.
What are some of your best players on your team as of this season?
As of this season, well, our senior middle blocker, Venice Verdun, was named CAA Preseason Player of the Year, so she's done a really good job for us. We have an outside hitter, Mookie Kang, Angwa, who is also a senior. It does a lot for our kills game. And then our libero, Emily Averbeck, is a sophomore, and she does a really good job of handling the ball. And we have a setter, Kaylee McGrew, who is a sophomore, local girl from the area, and she does a really nice job with running our offense.
You know, the season's going really well. I'm excited about our 3 freshmen that just came in. We're relying a lot on them, and then we're having our middle, Venice and Mookie, and they're our strong hitters, and that's who I depend on going to and who carry us throughout the game. But no, I think our season's going really well.
I've heard that there were 2 shutout games these past 2 games. Can you explain a little bit or elaborate on how those games went for you?
Well, actually, I just was out on an ankle sprain, but I think that the team in the last game against William and Mary, I don't know, it was a tough loss for us. We definitely should have won that game, but I think we know what we need to improve on, and we're going to be working on practice, and we're ready for Hofstra in Northeastern this weekend.
And you also have 5 away games coming up. How's your team feeling about these next 5 games? You think are they winnable?
Yeah, we're really excited. I know most teams are more comfortable in their home arena, but we're excited to go and show everyone else what we can do away. And so our next few practices are going to be really intense. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be gone all October, so we're excited to get some wins.
Games went really well from our end of just in how we played and executing our game plan. We did a really great job with understanding, what they were going to do on their end, but then, on our side, taking care of the ball and doing what we needed to do to get kills, get digs and do those types of things that it takes to win. We really put a lot of pressure on the other team that we played in both UNC Wilmington and VCU, and you come out with a victory when you put a lot of pressure on somebody.
With all the injuries that have plagued the women's volleyball team of Georgia State, they still remain very confident in knowing that they can win the rest of their conference games. Their next game is October 7th at Hofstra in Hampstead, New York. Hope to see you there.
This week we are talking about football. Not pigskin being thrown around a gridiron, but a ball being kicked on the pitch. Georgia State women's soccer team captured its 2nd conference win Sunday afternoon with a 4-0 shutout over Old Dominion at Panthersville Soccer Complex. The victory elevates Georgia State with a record of 2-2 against Colonial Athletic Association opponents and increases its overall record to 5-8. Georgia State Panthers had an array of goals from freshman Erica Hawkins, sophomore Jewel Evans, junior Sarah Bennett, and senior Bree Cagle. Senior goalkeeper Kellyanne Collins registered 5 saves on the day to give GSU its first shutout of the season. The Georgia State women's soccer team continues conference play Friday, October 7th with a road game against 2010 CAA champions James Madison at 7 p.m. Georgia State men's soccer team played this past weekend, and if you missed it, you missed out on something special. Sophomore midfielder Stephen McGill buried a penalty kick in the 93rd minute to give the Georgia State men's soccer team a 1-0 victory over conference foe Hofstra Saturday afternoon at Panthersville, making Stephen McGill kind of a big deal. Roberto Pellegrini also had a clean sheet for the Panthers. The Panthers are now 7-2 overall and 1-1 in conference play. The Georgia State men's soccer team remains home for its next CAA match against William and Mary on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Let's kick it into gear, fans, and come support our soccer team.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the Panther Report.
Don't forget to tune in to Channel 91 in University Housing every Friday at 6 for Georgia State's weekly source of news. Or, for those who aren't in University Housing, you can tune into our live stream on gstvonline.org.
And if you happen to miss any episode, you can always check out our YouTube channel, GSTV Panther Report, to keep you updated. I'm Cesar Galvez.
And I'm Mary Elizabeth Scher. See you next time on the Panther Report.